How you doing, everyone? So I've got some new toys to test. I've been sent a new pair of shoes and a new race vest. First up, let's have a quick look. Shoes, it's a pair of Inov-8s. So the Inov-8s are the Roclite G275 version 2s. So let's have a quick look, see what they look like, and then we're just going to get straight to it and go for a run and get some runs in. So that is the G275 version 2. So the version 2 looks very similar to the version 1 that I've got. Supposed to be more durable, a tougher upper. They've changed the tongue. There's a few features that they've adjusted and they've kept other things the same. So without further ado, I'm going to get these on my feet and start testing them out. Next up, we have from Ultimate Direction. I've just tore this off. So that is the new mountain vest. So quick look at it, just there, very brief. So that is the mountain vest version 6.0 I think they call it. So again, I'm going to get this on my back and start running with it, and over the next week or so I'm going to give it a good test, try the features, load it up with different things and see how it compares to my mountain vest number 4 that I've got. See what they've changed. Okay, let's get going. So as you saw on the clips there, I've used the shoes in various kind of different conditions. So that is the shoe there. That is the Roclite G275 version 2. So version 2, because it's replaced version 1. I'll go over some of the differences just in a second. So what I've got to say about this shoe. So versatile shoe. If you're going to get one shoe to do multiple things, if you're going to have one shoe to be able to run in different sort of conditions and terrains, that's a good choice. If you want a shoe that's going to excel at just running on hard packed trails, and that's pretty much it, that's not the shoe. And same again, if you want a shoe that's going to be great in super muddy conditions all the time, there's better shoes out there. But if you want a shoe that is going to be good at a mixture of all sorts, then that is why you're looking at this shoe. So yeah, Roclite G275 version 2. So the average weight of this shoe is 275 grams. That's where it gets its name, 275. That is based on the size range that they make the shoes. They make the shoes from 3.5 in a women's up to 14 in a men's. They've taken the average size throughout the size range. That weighs in at 275 grams. It's got an 8mm drop, so the drop is 26mm in the heel to 18mm in the forefoot. The outsole of the shoe, here we go, that is it just there, you can see it. So it's got 6mm lugs. They've got little knobbly bits on the lugs, can you make that out there? It's on the end of all of these little knobbly bits, which just helps with the traction. So they are graphene infused lugs. Apparently graphene is, according to Inov-8, the strongest material on the planet. Basically it's going to make it harder wearing, longer lasting if it's got graphene in it. I've got various other Inov-8 shoes with graphene and they do last a long time, so I believe that it's definitely better than not having graphene in it. It's supposed to give the life of the sole 50% more durability by having the graphene in it. So 50% harder wearing, in other words. Upgrades. So what's the upgrades I've got just over here? That is the old Roclite. So that's version 1. So I know the exact differences on both the shoes. So I've got some notes just over there just to remind me. So Powerflow Max. So Powerflow Max is in the midsole. That is this bit just here. Can that zoom in on that? I don't know if you can read that. But on the midsole, they're using Powerflow Max, which is supposed to give it greater comfort in the midsole, better energy return, and better cushioning as well. The old version didn't have that, so that is one of the new upgrades. It's got a flexible rock plate, so in between the outsole and the midsole, you've got a flexible rock plate, which works well when I've been running over different rocky terrain. I've not felt anything jaggy going up through the sole of the shoe, so that seems to work well. And it's flexible. So if it's not a flexible rock plate and it's a stiff rock plate, it's going to affect the flex of the shoe. That's why it's flexible, so allow the shoe to actually flex. But that does work well. Rock plate works well. Boomerang insole, that's new for this shoe over this shoe. So the boomerang insole is this thing just here. So that's the insole. I've taken it out. I don't know if you can see on that, it's got these little knobbly bits underneath. Nice and spongy, very comfortable to run in. They do use this insole in various other Inov-8 shoes, but they didn't use it in the old Roclite, so it's new to the Roclite. But it feels really nice when you stand on it. It's nice and cushioned. So that is definitely a good bonus. Something else that's new is the Adapterfit Cradle, which basically is this bit just here. That bit, so when you pull the laces tight, that grips down over your foot and holds your foot. It's pretty similar to the old one. That's the old one just there. And that's the new one and just there. Not a big difference, but it's different here. I don't know how am I going to do this here. If you can see this bit here is considerably more different to this bit. I have found it worked well. On the older version, I found the shoe a little roomy. I don't know if it was the shoe itself or the fact that I wasn't getting the lockdown on the top of the foot that I needed. So I ended up putting in a second pair of insoles in the old version because I felt my foot was moving a little bit. It was fine when I did that. I just changed the fit myself. But on the new version, I've not had to do that. When I've laced the shoe up, it gripped across the top of my foot and held my foot better than on the old version. So I do think that the changes they've made to the Adapterfit Cradle has actually worked. Another thing whilst we're on this bit, is the laces. These laces, 100 times better than those laces. These laces, little skinny round laces, really tough, don't fray, but they're rubbish to tie. They come loose all the time. I've always got a double knot when I use those ones. I've not double knotted at all with these yet. I've just laced them up and they've stayed tied. So if I show you, I can do this way. There we go. So that's zoomed in on the lace there. You can just see the pattern on the lace. On that pattern's a bit of a texture, and it's a flat lace. And because it's got a bit of texture to it and it's flat, when you pull it tight, it stays tight. It doesn't come undone. So these laces, loads better than the old laces. I really don't like round laces. Inov-8 stopped making round laces. I don't like them. The tongue is new and improved as well. So it's supposed to be more cushioned. I'm not feeling a huge amount of difference between the cushioning on this one and that one, to be honest. But the new one is a gusseted tongue. So if I grab this shoe where I've taken the laces out, you can see quite clearly, hopefully, that bit just there. So that's going to help stop any bits going in, falling into the bottom of the shoe, and it helps keeps the tongue central. Just feeling, yeah, maybe a little more cushioned, but that's one of the differences. The tongue, gusseted, supposedly a bit more cushioned. Right, what else? Go away, emails. The upper has changed as well, so they've changed the upper, so they've made it a denser, tighter weave on this upper just here. Can you see? Here we go, get the light just right. That is a much tighter, denser weave than that one, which is a holier upper. But they claim this one's going to be just as breathable as that one. Don't know if it will be, but they've changed the material. I'm hopeful that that is going to be a more durable upper, because on another Roclite, it's an older Roclite, I've got loads of different Roclites. That's an older one. I'm sure you'll recognise the problem here. Just here, we've got that hole that appears on the flex point. That's on an old version with a much lighter material that they're using. So hopefully by changing the material on the new version, version 2, that shouldn't go on the flex point, is what I'm hoping. It's supposed to be 25% more durable than the old version. So what else have we got? You've got, oh, that's a point I. On here, well, I'll show you on that one because this has got something this one doesn't. The old one, you've got just here-ish, yeah. There's a little gap there for a gator loop, so you can attach your gaiters on there. They've done away with that, so that is no longer here on the new version. Doesn't really matter. I do wear gaiters occasionally when it's super snowy to stop the snow going in over the top, but that's not the end of the world. They have got rid of that. You've got the extra eyelet, as you always have, just up here, so you can do the runner's knot. There is some protection around the toe, a bit of texture around there. It's not a super hard toe cap, but there is more protection in case you stub your toes. Grips my foot well, grips my heel well. I think that is down to this new improved Adapterfit. So sizes. The shoe comes in the men's version, comes in a 6.5 all the way up to a 14, and in the women's it comes in a 3.5, no, not 3.5, a 3 all the way up to a size 8. Colours, you can get choice of colours, so that's the nicest colour, I think. That's the blue. Also comes in the guys one. You can get it in a black and grey. Well, we'd never choose black and grey for a running shoe personally. I prefer a bit of colour. And in the women's it comes in a teal and navy. They just get the one choice, but I only want the one choice in the guys. If the option is black for the other choice, I'm never going to choose it. Price of the shoe is £135, which is a good price, which is much better price than some of the other Inov-8 shoes out there, such as the Park Claw G280. I've got some of those. Great shoe, 160 quid though. They do feel really substantial. They're going to last a long time. They have lasted a long time. I've done quite a lot of miles in those, or kilometres, depending which way you measure. But 160 quid is too much. I personally think trail running shoe needs to be under 150 quid to make it more appealing to somebody to want to buy it. So the fact that these are £135 and they got the new features on there, yeah, that's great. I think that's a good price for these shoes, as long as they fit your feet. Overall fit is very similar to the old one, but it holds my foot better, so that's better. And they've done some upgrades. So I think if you're going to get a shoe, it's one shoe to do multiple runs in different terrains. That's a great shoe. I've been for a few runs in it. Low down, hard packed, soft trail with nice little pine leaves on the trail, super soft and spongy. Felt great on that. Harder packed, rockier trail, still felt fine. Didn't feel any rocks coming through the bottom. Gave me good grip. Been out in the wet, the dry. Did slip a little bit when I used them as a walk-in shoe coming down a really steep, wet, rocky section. I would have slipped in absolutely anything though, so that's not a problem at all. And as you saw on the video, I've used them coming down in a really wet, boggy terrain, which is much muddier than these are designed for, but they coped fine. I didn't fall over. I nearly went flying on my backside at one point, but I managed to hold it together. So yeah, good improvements to the shoe. Definitely worth trying if you get the chance. Hope you liked the video. Hope it was of some help to you. Feel free, do me a favor, do subscribe to the channel. It does help the channel. Leave a like, leave a comment below. That would be great. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.